TVC Breakfast, we now take you to the Center of Unity where Shamamo Imodu and Tijesu Adelye are standing by for the FCT brief. Abuja is security issues today. In Akwana, the conversation is over to you.
Thank you, Ria. Good morning, everyone, and it's a delight to be here as always.
Yeah, good morning, Nigerians. It's good to be here on this Wednesday morning. And TJ, I think the weather is beginning to change here in Abuja.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Well, let's go straight into what we have for you today. Good morning and welcome to FCT Brief. Today, we are focusing on the growing wave of insecurity in parts of the country with particular attention on Kwara State, where incidents of kidnappings have raised fresh concerns among residents, travelers and business owners. As the challenge persists, questions are being asked about effectiveness of current security measures and the urgency of restoring public confidence and safety. The Kwara State government says it is not relenting in its efforts to tackle kidnappings and related crimes, rolling out a mix of security operations, intelligence and gatherings, and community-based strategies aimed at dismantling criminal networks.
But how far have these interventions gone? And are they yielding the desired results on the ground? This conversation is critical at a time when citizens are demanding clear outcomes, accountability, and lasting solutions. To help us review the government's effort and provide insight into what is being done to end kidnappings in Kwara State, we are joined this morning by Ibraheem Abdullateef, the Senior Special Assistant on Communications to the Kwara State Governor. He will be sharing the official perspective on the security situation, ongoing initiatives, and what residents can expect in the days ahead. Mr. Abdullateef, nice to have you here with us this morning.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to join you.
All right.
You're welcome.
Talking security, just on Monday, there was a press briefing by the opposition PDP in Kwara State. And they cited a report by the International Center for Investigative Reporting that about 507 persons have been killed so far by suspected bandits, and another about 377 abducted between January and November. Now, this figure is quite huge. What does that say of the security situation in Kwara State? Are we on top of it? Or are we still grappling with how to deal with this menace?
The work of the government in securing the life and property of our citizens is continuous. We have made significant progress in that regard. In the last 2 to 3 months, over 30 people were arrested, suspected bandits and criminals were arrested across the joint security operations in the length and breadth of the state. At least 20 of them were neutralized, and over 50 people were rescued from their den across several operations that were carried out by the joint security operatives. It goes to speak to the fact that the government has been up and doing in this regard. The people of Kwara State has good trust and confidence in the ongoing security effort of the government. Government has been up and doing with the communication, and we have also been employing the support and collaboration of our citizens. The federal government and the Kwara State government maintain a strong collaboration and partnership to see to the end of this menace in our communities. Over the week, in the last 2 weeks, there were good news, good report about the arrest of arms courier, a suspected arms courier, arrested with the live arms of around 100 rounds. Another medical doctor suspected to be giving aid and treatment to criminals was also arrested. Another member suspected to be a member of the criminal syndicate was also arrested in Orago. All of this goes to show the effort the government is making are yielding results. It also goes to show the renewed investment in all the operations that we have outlined. And as we approach the Yuletide season, the government has continued to hold Security Council meetings as we tinker with strategies to ensure peaceful existence and happy holidays for our people.
All right, Mr. Abdullateef, from what I hear you say, you said the government is working tirelessly to ensure that the people of Kwara State are safe. And, you know, you've recorded some successes, but it's a different narrative we get on ground. A lot of people in Kwara State still largely feel unsafe. And how do we now, who do we believe in this situation? The government or the people on ground? And again, you said that some arrests are being made. Yes, we hear some arrests being made. Some of these criminals are being apprehended. But what kind of persecution comes afterwards? Because we hear nothing after these arrests are being made. Are they persecuted? What happens afterwards?
The law is clear about that. When you arrest suspected criminals, investigations take place, and afterward, they are prosecuted according to the laws of the land. So we believe the security agencies are taking charge of that. Our own as a government is to continue to provide security, logistics and support for them. And I also believe that the people of Kwara State share in our optimism for their safety and security. As I outlined earlier, some of the steps the government have been taking with their confidence and support. Some of the sources we have also recorded to their delight, because they understand that we are in this together. They also know that the odds against the government are very high. In most of the times, we have to record 100% success in most of the operations. In any instance where there are issues, that's when you hear those in the news. For instance, in November, last month, the men of the police force foiled an attack in Bodisadu, in Moro local government. A member of the criminal syndicate was neutralized and were retrieved from them. This didn't go viral as much as we wish, but the people of Kwara State derive joy and pleasure, and they take hope from such report. And that is the picture of the effort the government has been making. We also believe that they understand that this is not something that we end with a wave of the hand. They understand that it is a journey. We have a disadvantage with the location at the moment. There are serious issues around the Kogi and Niger borders, and with that, we are quite affected with some of these issues. So what we are doing at the moment are quite clear, and I'm sure they are confident in our effort and the capability to take the state out of the woods. We have done it before. During the COVID-19 pandemic, our administration was one of the best rated in the state with the way we manage the crisis. Away from that, the governor that we have is a proactive, pragmatic, and remarkable leader. He is one for the war, he is one for the battle. His experience is battle tested. They believe in him, having voted him twice into office to take the state out of any mishap or issue, as the case may be. So we retain our trust and confidence in him. We also think that the issue in Kwara have been largely overblown by misinformation and fake news. And as you must have also observed in the media, some of those do not help us as a people or as a state. So we want to urge our people not to panic. We want to urge them to remain calm as the government continues to work to strengthen peace and safety in the state.
Okay, SSA, let's take a look at this. You just talked about the boundary states, and that is, I know that you share boundary with Niger, you share with Oyo, you share with Kogi. Now, this challenge we have in Kwara State, is it a spillover from these states, or is it as a result of internal security failure? And also, I would like to know, in the Southwest, for instance, they have the Amotekun. Now, what have you put in place in Kwara State to help curtail the spread of all these, whether it is bandits or kidnappers? Is there a security system you have put in place, or you are waiting for the forest reserve the federal government is setting up?
Security experts have constantly explained that the security situation in Kwara was largely influenced by the issues around the border communities, and those are the grants that anybody who is discerning or following the issue closely would also agree with. But we are not in the habit of complaining. We would rather face the issue squarely. So the governor himself has spoken several times to let the people know that he would spare no resources to ensure that our people remain safe and calm. Now, answering your question about some of the steps we have taken, we have spoken several times about the ongoing training for forest guards in our state. We are sponsoring this, funding this, with a view to complement the effort of the federal government to assist with the operations across the affected communities in Kwara. Upon the completion of their training, these people will be posted to several communities, and then they are largely locals with experience of the terrain, with the trust of their people. Once they are deployed, they will strengthen the operations and help us flush out the criminal elements across anywhere they may be hiding. The statement and the stance of the Kwara State government is clear. Kwara shall not become a den or a haven for bandits, and we have been largely successful in sending that message. We will bring terror to anybody who wants to cause harm or unrest in our land or to our people, and that will be unceasingly and unwavering. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Lateef, you spoke about sparing the governor saying his intention is not to spare any resources in protecting the people of Kwara State. But we'll speak more about that right after the short break. Don't go anywhere. We still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. Now, we're still talking about the wave of insecurity, and Kwara State is in focus. Now, before we went on the break, Mr. Abdullateef, you spoke about the governor sparing no resources in tackling insecurity in Kwara State. I would like to know how much has Kwara State spent so far on security across the last two budget cycles, and how do you reconcile the spendings when residents are still burying people in the state?
The question cannot be answered with figures, because that's simply
one estimate. Not allowed. Can we have an estimate?
Matters of security are not as straight as any other issue. But I would like to go forward by letting you know that due to the massive investment of the government, we were able to keep the insecurity issue from coming faster as it would have been. If you look at it, our own issue began spreading or becoming this rife just about six months ago. It was due to the massive investment the government has been making to ensure that it was kept at bay. And I mentioned earlier that we are ready to do more to ensure that we contain it and we flush out the criminal elements from our land. We spare no resources, as the governor has constantly reiterated, because he understands that the security of life and property matters, and as a chief executive officer who is well loved and considered a remarkable leader by his people, he will continue to look into new mechanisms, new approaches, new strategies to ensure that the state of harmony remains the state of harmony. And I would also like to add, our support for local security operatives have no band. We are constantly in touch with them. We are constantly supporting them. We put the money where our mouth is. For instance, apart from giving them the necessary logistic support, the government is also doing a lot to boost their morale. For instance, when we sadly lost some of our men in the recent attacks, about 180 million naira was provided to the families who lost their loved one, as a way to show our support and encouragement, and as a way to empathize and show them that their sacrifice to the state is appreciated, is acknowledged, and they will remain as legacy of strength and resilience of what the people of Kwara State represent.
Okay, Mr. Abdullateef, I know that Kwara State is just one of the many states that has been ravaged by insecurity. Like we said earlier, the neighboring states, I want to know, is there a collaboration with the various states? Because if Kwara State, for instance, is doing its own, or your state is doing its own, and there's no collaboration, which means those driven away from Oyo will spill over into Kwara. So when Kwara decides to do something, those driven from Kwara will spill over. Is there collaboration, where you have joint operation in those boundary communities. For instance, recently we had, I think, a twin attack in a community in Omuaron where several people were abducted. Now, what level of confidence would you want to give to these people that's beyond this last incident, you're not going to have repeats of such?
If you look at the statement that was released by the Commissioner for Communications a day ago, she harped on deepening interagency collaboration among security forces. That's our stand. We mean it. As a state, I believe at the highest level of governance, there are ongoing discussions and operations between our leaders and the leaders of the neighboring states on the ways to go about strengthening the security in Kwara and the neighboring states. Some of these issues may not spill into the media because they are not matters for the media. But I assure you, our government is in constant communication with the neighboring community to look at the ways we can go about achieving our joint and mutual purposes to keep our people safe and secure. Away from that, I also believe that security forces like the police, the DSS, the Nigerian military have the liberty to transfer between the length and breadth of the border communities to ensure successes in their operations. We can point at several of those instances with the arrest of the Ansaru military leaders along the Kwara borders. There were also several operations reported where several suspected bandits were neutralized between the Kwara-Kogi borders. These were the successes of the joint operations between the DSS, the police, across Kwara and Kogi. And we have seen instances between Kwara and Ekiti borders where operations took place, and we made serious progress and success from those operations. So from our end, our doors are open. We are interested in deepening the partnership, and I believe, like I said earlier, that at the highest level of government, this is being done. Only that it may not spill over to the media unless it is very, very necessary.
All right, Mr.
And if you are going to talk about the confidence that people have in us, I want to say that is 100%. It is normal when there are issues of attack for people to call on the government to show their concerns. That is their right as citizens, and we recognize that, we acknowledge them. But that should not be taken for displeasure or angst or to incite people into violence. Because people understand, like I said earlier, that we are all in this together. And as a government that is proven to be up and doing, to be proactive, we have gained their trust, we appreciate their support, and we have continued to encourage them to provide credible intelligence both to the government and the security forces so that we can facilitate timely intervention in security threats or even in providing support or relief to the affected communities. So going forward, the government of Kwara State is clear. We will bring terror to people who want to terrorize our people, and that will be us sincerely.
All right, Mr. Abdullateef, you spoke about having the trust of the people in terms of protecting them. And communities report that, or they insist that, there are several warnings that go ahead before these attacks. There is intelligence that goes ahead before this attack, but little or nothing is being done about it. And it is when these attacks happen, we now start seeing efforts from government and all of that. We start seeing visits to victims and all of that. Why has the state not moved from a reactive to a preventive measure?
The odds against the government many times is that he has to be correct all of the times. Let me give you instances to show you that we have always taken any intelligence seriously and we have always worked with them. I mentioned the other time that early in November, the police command, Kwara State Police Command, swiftly mobilized their men to quell an attack in Bodisadu, Moro local government. In that operation, they neutralized a suspected criminal and they recovered their ammunition. They succeeded in chasing them away from that community. That is one. Two, we also take cognizance of recent news from Kwara about how a suspected arms courier for a banditry syndicate was intercepted and arrested by security forces. Another time, also, a suspected medical doctor who was giving treatment and care to wounded bandits was also intercepted and arrested by the security forces. And another one, too, was arrested at the Orago Park, who had lied that he was visiting his uncle in a neighboring village. All of these arrests and interceptions were possible because of the credible intelligence we received from our people and the gallantry of our security forces. So it gives a lie to the claims that the government ignores credible intelligence at any point in time. What we advise is that the people should not be tired, they should not be weary, and they should not give in to despair, because when you give in to despair, it saps you of hope, and you begin to lose ability to retaliate or to build courage and resilience against any adversity. As a government, we are here and we have not neglected anyone. The governor will not rest on his oars. He's literally breaking his back to ensure that the people of the state remains safe and secure. What has largely happened in the issue of Kwara is misinformation. People would say many things, especially people with vested interest politically, to pitch the people against the government or to sow distrust, cause incitement for whatever nefarious agenda. But we have constantly advised our people to be able to sap or to take away the noise from the matter. Because at the end of the day, this is the state that we have. This is the land that we treasure. We cannot allow any sectional agenda or purposes to divide us and build wars between us. So that's not true. We wish to clarify that that's totally false and unfounded. We are still willing and open to take credible intelligence from our people, and we are willing and able and capable to work on them, and we are willing and able and capable to record successes because we have done that before.
All right, Mr. Abdullateef, we'll take a quick break now. When we return, we'll wrap up this conversation. Stay with us, don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. We're glad to have you back. Now, let's wrap up our conversation with Mr. Abdullateef. Mr. Abdullateef, some residents say that giving the intelligence is not the issue. In fact, they're very well open to, providing government and security agencies with the much intelligence that they have. But what they fear is leaks of this intelligence and possible reprisal on them. What assurance is government giving them that they are well protected when they provide this intelligence?
We do not have such problem in Kwara. We simply have no such history with mishandling the information that we get or not protecting our sources. We treat security as much as a general need for governance and development. And if you look at what has been coming out of Kwara with regards to positive indices that we post in development or governance front, you will agree with me that this is an administration that has proven itself to be capable and trustworthy. For instance, we were just announced by the UNICEF as the winners of the Primary Healthcare Challenge for the third consecutive time. We are providing access to healthcare as a part of broader long-term strategy to ensure the quality, to deepen the quality of life of our people. We have also just won the 2025 Asia Parliamentary International Debate Competition Junior category. It's a testament to the turnaround we have achieved in the basic education sector to empower young people from becoming possible targets for recruitment into any criminal element. Away from that, our governor just approved an increase of 30% in the worker salary in the state. Is the first of its kind in Kwara. This speaks to the premium attention and priority it places on its residents and citizens as a leader of the state. So I made mention of all of these things to let you know that the government prioritizes its people dearly, and we work with them on day-to-day basis as partners in the project Kwara. We believe significantly that we have been under the mandate to take Kwara forward, which has been what the government have been doing in the last 6 years. We also believe that our legacy rests solely on the lot, on improving the lot of our people across sectors, whether security-wise, health, education, youth empowerment, women engagement, or whatever development front. So I assure you that the people of Kwara has no problem with that. I also assure you that we share firm respect and partnership with them as a people and pro-government administration. We also want to assure them that as we approach the Yuletide period to provide firm security and safety for them. We also invite interested members from Nigeria or international to come to Kwara, because Kwara remains one of the most friendly tourist attraction centers in Nigeria today. Kwara is safe and secure. No part of Kwara community is under the control of bandits, as it might have been flying about in the media. The governor is willing, is capable, is strong, is remarkable, and the Kwara State remains one of the safest states in Nigeria. We will be looking forward to seeing you coming around. We will also be looking forward to collaborating and partnering with institutions, military bases, security outfits, and other stakeholders to keep our state strengthened and more secure on security.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ibraheem Abdullateef. It's a pleasure speaking with you this morning, and we'll definitely keep our eye on Kwara State, and we'll definitely hold you up to that invitation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to DVZ crew for giving us an opportunity to lay the matter to rest. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for staying with us for the past 30 minutes. Now, we'll now hand you over to Lagos, where Ria and the rest of the team are standing by to continue with the rest of the show.
All right. Thank you so much, Abuja. Thank you for that conversation. Thank you.